Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a flip through of my Hobonichi Weeks. I honestly haven't shown this planner very much over 2023. It wasn't a primary focus for any of my spreads or any of my videos. This is my everyday carry that I would throw in my purse whenever I had to go to a doctor's appointment, to work, to basically any place I needed to be that was outside of my house and I did not want to bring my big full year Hobonichi cousin. This was basically the alternate planner that I had. So everything that was in here pretty much mirrored what was in my Hobonichi cousin. And so I thought for this video we would do a flip through just to show you what some of my spreads looked like for those of you who have a Hobonichi Weeks in 2024. This might give you some ideas of different ways that you can use the Hobonichi Weeks, and that's what I thought we would talk about in this video. So if you would be interested to see all the different spreads that I had in my 2023 Hobonichi Weeks, then let's go ahead and keep watching. Okay, we are going to, actually let me zoom you in some. So we have, just off the bat, I did have this clear cover on top of my Weeks, but honestly I don't think I really needed it because the material of the Hobonichi Weeks that I have here is not that bad, and it really didn't, I wasn't going to scratch it up or anything, but I had the clear cover anyways. I didn't use this page at all. For the year at a glance, I originally thought I would just do this for my Etsy sales, but the beginning of 2023, I kind of let my Etsy shop kind of fall to the wayside, so I didn't have that many sales going on, and honestly, I just completely forgot to even track any of my sales in my Hobonichi Week, so this was kind of a useless spread for me. And then the monthly spreads, I really didn't do a whole lot with. I basically used them to, first, I started using them just to document holidays, like school holidays, federal holidays, doctor's appointments, book club, nail appointments, all sorts of different things. And then as you'll see going through, I slowly started just tapering off of my monthly spreads. It just wasn't anything that I kept up with. And so you'll see I started doing a whole lot and actually trying to decorate them, but it didn't last for very long. Like in April, I didn't have anything here. Again, in May, I tried to do a little bit of a washi just to put something, but this was not my focus for my Hobonichi Weeks. I really didn't use this for very much at all. It was just there in case I needed it, but I really didn't use this, as you can see, at all. And then we'll go into the weekly spreads. You have the days of the week on this side, and then you have just grid on this side. And I didn't start this up until I think the middle of December. Yeah, the middle of December. So I went kind of, you'll see, all over the place. So I started out with appointments and workouts and things like this on this side. I had this extra little square for social media. I was tracking habits, to-dos. I had some notes here that if anything came up, I could put some notes down. I tweaked it a little bit to where now I have as a 3-column on one page. So you have appointments. This middle column was weather, and then this was to-do. Had socials, habits, and notes. Pretty much stayed the same way. I just gave up on the weather. It wasn't something I wanted to track anymore. Same kind of spread. I just decided not to use the boxes to mark anything off. Then I did away with that completely and went back to the original. So I kind of flip-flopped because this is the first year I've ever used the Hobonichi Weeks, and I really just didn't know what worked the best for me. And this was kind of the goal of this video, was to show you what I did, and maybe you'll decide that you like that as well. So now we went back to miscellaneous appointments, or miscellaneous tasks, appointments, socials. We have habits, sleep, notes, same type of thing, sort of. Have all of these, and as you can see, once I figured out a spread that kind of worked for me, I stuck with it for a while just to see if I continuously liked it or if I didn't like it at all and decided to go away with it. This was a new spread that I saw. I think I saw this on YouTube, where you had, it again was 3 columns. So you had work, I had appointments, and then I had to-dos, and then I had the habits and then the weather kind of put together, and that way I had a very large section down here for notes and thoughts. And then I just went back to 2 columns because this ended up being too either too tight, or I just didn't fill up a lot of the boxes, so I decided to go back to a 2-column table, and then went back to just a 1-column table. This was, I had seen Coffee Monsters Co. Helen had done this where she did basically a highlight of the day, and then I used the emojis that I had from my sticker shop that I would kind of use to offset, kind of to talk about what was in that day without actually having to read it. I did that. I kind of liked it. And then I had my habits here, to-do list, and appointments down at the bottom. That way I could still list the functional stuff that I needed to do while also having some like journaling on the Hobonichi Weeks, or in that week. And then obviously I went right back to what I was comfortable with. That just wasn't something that was beneficial for me. And then this is where I start kind of going into more of the reading track. So we have my appointments, my work, anything like that. I have my habits still here. This was kind of like my feeling for the day, like an important thing that I did, along with some stickers to kind of, again, offset whatever I had done during that day. And then I had my habits up top, and then this is where I started tracking my reading. So over here you have 1 through 7, that's the days of the week, and then down here at the very bottom is 0% all the way to 100%. So I can see that I read the book Mr. Wrong Number. I started it on the 1st and I read it all in one day. I went from 0% to 100% all on the 1st. Whereas Kingdom of the Cursed, I started on the 4th, so I didn't do any reading at all from on the 2nd or the 3rd, but I started reading Kingdom of the Cursed on the 4th, and then on the 5th, I was able to increase it to 20%, and then on the 6th, I went to 50%, and then on the 7th, I read the entire book. So you kind of see the track of how long it took me to read the book and kind of where I'm at in the book at the end of each day. And I really liked the way that was tracking. So I continued to do this probably for a good month. I think all of May I did this. And so you can see, like here, Wuthering Heights, I tried to read it on the 9th. I got, 20% done by the 10th. I read very little on the 11th, and I read again very little on the 12th. So there was a very minor amount of pages read in Wuthering Heights on this week. Whereas Throne of Glass, I was reading that a whole lot. Along with this book, I read it all in one day. So it just kind of gives me a visual. I like graphics. So if I can put a line chart or a bar chart on something, it usually makes me happy. So that's the same kind of spread that I did for a while. Like I said, I continued that all the way into June. Actually, I didn't know I did that as long as I did. And then the end of June, I decided I wanted to try something different. And instead of having the full page take up for all of the reading, I thought maybe I could just see the big chunks that I read. So I could see that I read The Friend Zone. I went from 0 to like 55% all in one day. And then I did from 55% to the finished of the book all in another day. So it kind of gives me how much I devoured that book essentially. But it didn't seem like something I enjoyed. So I quickly stopped that and went back to what I was doing before. And all of this is pretty much the same layout. I went back to a 2-column appointment and task list. Instead of having it all on one page, I split it up again. But this one was a way for me to track my socials whenever I did a video or posted on Instagram. And then these were my tasks and appointments. I actually ended up posting more. I just didn't write it in. So I did actually have things that went online, but I just never showed it. And then in August, I stopped doing the reading altogether, or tracking my reading altogether in August. Didn't do anything. I just kind of kept it away. Tried to go back to my reading tracker. I decided to try a different pen just to see kind of what I liked. I only did that for one day or 1 week. And then this is a spread that you're going to see me kind of stick with for the rest of the year. So this is my appointments and my work. And then over here, I just drew another box that basically, where it's dragging the whole day through both pages. And so this is appointments and work, and then this is all of my to-do list, but that way it gives me, I liked to check boxes. So if it can give me a checklist or a way for me to check off or X out something that I did, then I tend to enjoy that type of layout. So I messed up my weeks. So this was September 18th through the 24th. I had to use some like whiteout to adjust it. And then this was September 1st through the 17th. And then this was September 25th through October the 1st. So I missed this page completely. So I had to go back and try to correct it later. And then this was me trying a little bit different. So I had, again, days of the week, or the appointments and the work schedule on this side. I had my book tracker. So I listed the book, what I rated it, kind of when I finished it, and then I started trying to write down some of the key points in it just so I could try to remember what that book was all about. And then down here was my 2 YouTube channels that I have, the video tracker. So I have a column for if I did a thumbnail, if I recorded it, edited it, and uploaded it. So it kind of keeps track of where I was on my videos. I did not do this very well. This was another type of spread. So this side pretty much stayed the same. All of this is work and appointments. And then over here, I decided maybe I will just write my thoughts for the day, kind of taking what I did before when I saw the example from Helen from Coffee Monsters Co. But it let me have my appointments and my work, but also the thoughts. And as you can see, I did it for 3 days and then I stopped. And then this was my notes or to-do list again. Notes and to-do list along with everything else. And this was the same spread that you're pretty much gonna see for the rest of the year. This was the one that I tended to enjoy obviously the most, and this is what I'm continuing to go into in my common planner in 2024. This is the same type of spread that I have done so far. And that takes us into the notes. And I'm not going to share the notes because it's basically just a bunch of personal information from all of my doctor's appointments. It has like Christmas lists. It has all sorts of different things in there that I have consolidated into one section. So if I need to go back or remember something that happened at an appointment in 2023, I know I have it in here. So that is all of the notes. And then I believe in the back, I did not have anything else. I did not use the favorites. I did not do the My 100. I tracked the My 100 on my cousin. I did not have any favorite things. That was just that. And then I decided I was going to try to start doing the 365-day check off, but I didn't even make it a full month and I just gave up. So, you know, there's that. And then these are like receipts from Christmas. And that is my 2023 Hobonichi Week flip through. I hope this gives you an idea of different spreads that you can use in your planner, especially if you are a brand new Hobonichi user. It can be kind of overwhelming, at least for me, when I first got my planners, because I did not know what I wanted to do and how I wanted to use them. And I am not an artist. I am not a super creative type person. So all of the fancy decorating and things like that I would see on YouTube, it just did not mesh with my personality and the needs that I had for my own planner. So I hope if you fall in that type of bucket where you are not an artist, you just want to use something that's functional, then maybe some of these spreads will be very beneficial for you. So that is all that I have for this video. I hope everyone had a wonderful new year. I hope everyone is enjoying going into their 2024 planners, and I am very excited to see what the rest of the year holds. So with that, please make sure you like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.